Hey guys, you're listening to a new edition of Happy Hour with Friends, a podcast about friends, old and new, catching up over a couple of drinks, discussing issues that sometimes require a bit of liquid courage, but topics that ultimately matter and resonate on a personal level. I'm your host, Richard Hackman, but you can call me Rich for short. Let's start the show.
Ain't no the Knicks are playing. No, I tell you straight up, I am here with this person, just so you know.
Oh my God. If you had to make up your code phrase, what would it be?
I had a phrase with this one friend about when we were going to do something on the low,
yeah.
Right? And so I would say to her, let's go drink agua panela. And agua panela is this Colombian drink that everyone has. It's like a tea or like a coffee, right?
Okay.
So I would be like, hey, you want to go get some agua panela? And my girl already knew what I was talking about. So I've done stuff like that. But not so much like where I'm trying to hide something from someone.
Okay.
I don't think I'm good at that, if that makes any sense.
Okay.
Like, especially in a relationship, I'm too freaking loyal sometimes. I'm not for the game. Maybe in high school I was a little crazy.
Oh my gosh.
But that's it, though.
Oh my God. Yeah, I think mine would have to be like on some CIA or FBI shit. Like, the eagle has landed. The eagle has landed. I repeat, we are DEFCON 4.
Oh my God. Now I know if I ever hear you say something like that, I'm going to be like, what? Heads up, guys. This episode may contain some pretty strong language, so you may want to pop in your headphones if you're at work or if you have kids around. Enjoy the show. All right, happy hour friends. Guess who I'm with? I'm with the one, the only... Natalia Valencia.
Natalia Valencia. My goodness.
Hello,
wow.
everyone.
She is live on the show. All right, y'all. So just a little bit of background. I took this show on the road from New York City out all the way to New Jersey. Believe it or not, New Jersey. I'm in the middle of nowhere.
Don't say that.
I took the ferry, then I took the subway, and then I took another train, and now I'm in Elizabeth, New Jersey.
Eastwick.
Look at her. She's representing the hood already. So we are in a cool spot called Dolce.
Dolce, right on Broad
Dolce.
Street. This is actually one of my favorite spots to come hang out, and
Yeah.
I figured where better to take Rich, even though after this, the plan is to go get some Colombian food.
Hell
'Cause
yeah.
if you ever want some good Colombian food, you bring that booty over here to Elizabeth, New Jersey.
Hey, I'm here, I'm getting it. But what's so special about Dolce? You come here often?
You know,
just hang
Dolce's
out?
been here for such a long time. It used to be the Red Parrot. Great food in here. They got a lot of TVs if you want to come watch games. I mean, and then they have great music. Like, if you want to hear some good rap, trap, they will play that out
snap.
here Monday nights, Tuesday
Okay.
nights. Yeah, that's why, I'm glad we came here for lunch.
Okay.
Because there's not a whole bunch of crazy people in here right now.
Yeah.
But it's a great spot to hang.
I can take a cocktail if I have to, and I think it's certainly very rude to refuse it if it's offered. And I think that food tastes much better with wine. I think a meal without wine is like a day without sunshine.
Ooh, thank
very
you. We
much.
got some fried calamari right in front of us.
gosh,
If you hear some crunching
crunch,
don't get jelly. We're just waiting on the mojitos, guys.
That's like the most important part. I mean, come on.
Come on, cheers.
Ooh, cheers to mojitos.
Yay. Delicious, guys. I'm
Absolutely.
telling you, the drinks here are good.
I like it.
I'm glad you like it, because I've been telling you to come chill in Elizabeth.
Hey.
Don't say no. Don't be lying to your fans, because, I try to put Elizabeth on the map, just so you guys know.
I mean,
There's a lot of popping spots out here.
what are you, a tour guide now?
Listen. You got to bring the money in, The city needs a little help.
Damn, so what? The city kicks back a little something to you for this, or what?
Lord, I wish, man.
Jersey gets a bad rep, just in general.
But it is what it is. It is what it is. Always remember, you are a product of your environment.
Ooh.
With that said, I feel like Elizabeth's pretty damn cool. Can I curse on here?
Yeah, of
Oh,
course.
Elizabeth's f***ing cool, guys.
Just in case you missed it, here it is again.
Can I curse on here?
Yeah, of
Oh,
course.
Elizabeth's fucking cool, guys. Look, I grew up here. I know that people might not see it that way, but we're so close to everything
I want to get to the city. I take the train. I'm there in 30 minutes. I'm there quicker than most people that live in the city, you know? If I want to go down Jersey Shore, I'm there in an hour. Atlantic City, 2 hours. Nice little drive, you know?
Yeah.
Upstate New York, it's not that far.
Do you ever struggle for like different things to do back here in Elizabeth?
I mean, well, yeah, think about it. There's always something to do in Manhattan, and, you know, it's the city that never sleeps. So, yeah, there's times where here, you know, people might leave the club at like 2:30, but they want to keep the party going. So then they just drive over the bridge or through the tunnel, and then here you go, New York, everything's still open. There's still food, you know. Even though that's what's cool about this city, I have to say there's a lot of places that are open late. I got to be honest, like there's always something to do out here in Elizabeth. This is one of the cities where a lot of people migrate from like Europe.
Okay.
You know, especially back in the day. There's St. Peter's Town, which is actually not too far from here. And it's like this cool little neighborhood where there were a lot of Polish, but more Italians.
Okay.
And because there's so many Italians, but old school Italians in Elizabeth, we got some of the best pizzerias here. A lot of Latin flavor. And by that, I mean lots of different restaurants. Like, definitely there's a big population of Colombians here. So you've got Morris Avenue, which is full of it.
Okay.
You want to eat some empanadas or some buñuelos, and you got so many places to choose from there, which we're going to go later and you're going to check it out.
Nice.
Besides that, there's a lot of great Cuban food because a lot of Cuban people migrated here back in probably the 70s, the 80s. Now we're starting to see a lot more diversity with Central Americans, Mexicans. So there's great Mexican food here. There's like really good Peruvian food here.
Okay.
Like the chicken, Peruvian chicken is bomb. Okay. So yeah, in that sense, like in a cultural sense, I mean, yeah, there is a lot of diversity here in Elizabeth. And me, I'm a foodie, so you know, it works out. I love to try different stuff anyway.
All right, so then I gotta ask you now, because we started touching on it a little bit before the food came. Now I need you to compare living in Europe to being in Elizabeth.
There's no comparison. There's absolutely no comparison.
I kind of knew the answer to that already, but I was just
without a
shooting
doubt.
in the dark
But
there.
I think too that's the beauty of it. Like no place is ever similar, so you get a like really cool experience from it if you allow yourself to. You know what I mean? You can, in those kind of cases, you cannot be closed-minded at all. And definitely for someone who loves to travel or who likes to travel or is thinking about traveling, you can't be closed-minded because everyone is different everywhere you go. And the first thing that you have to do is just be respectful, right? And blend in with them as much as you can.
Yeah. Well, speaking of blending in, do you feel like you blended in, especially in a place like Finland?
No. Well, let me take that back. It's hard to blend in when you absolutely look exotic compared to everyone else there.
What do you mean by exotic? Go
Well,
ahead.
in the sense that everyone out there is much lighter, you know, blonde hair, blue-green eyes, you know. Here you got this Colombian girl, Lil Brown, with the dark, you know, brown hair, the dark eyes, you know, with the slick mouth coming from Jersey.
I can see it.
So, if anything, I think people maybe even more enjoyed being around me because of that, because I was so different.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
Yes.
Very cool. So while you were living there, you were visiting other countries, right?
Yeah, I did. And again, it's so easy to travel within Europe. Like, how do you not do it?
Yeah.
You know. So I've been very lucky in that sense. I visited Croatia that summer. I was in Spain, Italy, Germany, and I think that's it for that past summer. But the first summer when I was there, I traveled a lot.
Yeah?
Yeah, I had family in Spain, in Valencia, so I was staying there and then just kind of like going back and forth, you know, which was such an amazing experience because I did it by myself.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Now, okay, have you traveled with other people before, or is it?
I have traveled with other people, and for those kind of situations, you got to be real picky about who you travel with. So picky.
That was going to be my question. Like, how do you feel it's different traveling with others versus traveling by yourself?
Well, when you're by yourself, there's no stopping you. You do whatever the hell you want. You talk to whoever you want.
Yeah.
You go eat whatever you want. But when you're with someone else, now you have to be considerate of what other people want to do too. You know, like I love to go sightseeing and I love to go to museums. And so that's always like my main thing when I go to a different city, country. But it's not always the case with the people I'm with. You know?
Yeah.
So it's kind of like give and take here and there.
Okay.
But it's not a bad thing either because, you know, if you have good company, there's nothing to complain about, right?
Right.
It's when you have that bad company.
Well,
You know, bitch, don't kill my
Do you
vibe.
would like to share?
Okay, so I went to Cuba. I think it was like 2 years ago already. I went to visit Cuba, and I went with someone from Finland.
Okay.
Yeah, so he came straight here to the U.S., and then from here we flew out to Cuba. Now, he'd never been in Latin America before. This was the first time he was even, like, on this side of the world.
Didn't even ease into it.
No, it was, you know, when you're with Natalia, it's just go hard or go home.
Hey.
But it was interesting, though, because, you know, to see their reaction or to observe how they take in such a different society or lifestyle. Because, you know, like Cuba's Cuba, you know, and Cuba's always going to look like it's in like the 1950s, which is not a bad thing. I think that's what they're known for, you know, like the nice old cars and all of that.
Like colonial kind of thing.
But then compare it to a country like Finland or, you know, the Nordic countries, they're so modern, they're so clean, they have like the fastest Wi-Fi in the world, when in Cuba they just started using Wi-Fi not too long ago. Most of the people there can only connect on Wi-Fi in like the public parks or places like that, you know?
It's like night and day.
Yeah, absolutely. And so coming... For me, it's not that difficult to you know, blend in or get used to, because I'm Colombian and I go to Colombia and I see the poverty or the difference, you know, and it's not such a big thing to take in anymore, you know?
Yeah.
It's culture. So that's why for me it was interesting to have him go with me and
see it through his eyes.
and get his opinion and you know, it was very, very interesting, to be honest with you.
Did you find that in that there was also difficulty in just like...
The difficulty might lie with the language barrier, you know, because not a lot of people speak English over there. And that's how, in most cases, people from Europe are, you know, they travel the world because they'll know English or they'll know Spanish. And those are two languages that are really, you know, popular nowadays. So luckily, he was with me, and I was able to translate up and down like nothing.
Yeah.
Besides that, what other difficult? Maybe the food.
Okay, so...
So the food is definitely something different.
Okay.
For me, it's not.
Yeah.
You know, my mom was married to a Cuban guy when I was really young. So for a good, like, I think 7 years, my mom was married to this Cuban guy. So I've always loved that culture. So for me personally, it was always a dream to go there and visit Havana and see it for myself. It was so easy to be there.
Nice.
Absolutely. Even to eat the food, everything was, you know, easy.
Yeah.
But now I'm playing tour guide, kind of, you know?
That's a responsibility
It
in some
is.
ways.
It is a big responsibility. But I think those are the times where you have to... You just do it and you make the best out of it, right?
Yeah.
Because I think at this point, like, it's something that he enjoyed.
Yeah.
There might have been things where he complained about, you know, maybe certain places that we might have stayed at. But me, I when I planned this trip, I did it all with like Airbnb. So we were staying with actual families.
Nice.
And what was really cool, this is a story I have to tell. We found this Airbnb with this really nice family. It was 3 women, the grandmother, the daughter, and then the granddaughter. And it turns out that the grandmother, this older woman, she was a very famous reporter in Cuba. And she had interviewed Fidel Castro many times.
Wow.
So we would, like, the lights would go out, right? Like if there was like hard storms or something that came. I remember this one night, the storm hit and the lights went out and we were all sitting in the front family room together, like right in front of her. And she's telling us these stories about There were so many times where she would try to go interview Fidel Castro, and like her and her cameraman would have to like take off running because things got dangerous.
Oh my God.
So it was such a unique experience in itself just to get that from someone who was there, who lived it, you know, who her journalism career was pretty awesome. But it wasn't like, you know, a 5-star hotel where other people that when they're taking vacations, that's what they're used to doing,
exactly.
right? No, we were like in this apartment with like our separate rooms, you know, like we were in someone's house.
Yeah, an authentic experience.
A very authentic experience that I loved. But I did get a little feedback after the trip of where they would have preferred it to be different.
Why?
And so that was an interesting discussion, because the way I brought it up was, well, I think that what we got was much more. I think the experience we gained and the people we met was definitely worth it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
But I think that's something that me and you would look at that way.
No, absolutely.
Because, you know, we ain't that bougie out here.
Okay, so what you're saying is that maybe on the part of others, there was an expectation that it would
there was definitely expectation. But you know, when you want to do something like that, then you go ahead and plan it.
Yeah.
Because that's another thing too. If you're going to rely on me to come up with the itinerary for this trip, believe me, we're going to get, you know, down and dirty if we have to.
I like that. You want something that's more authentic, and you also want to give yourself the flexibility to really enjoy, you know,
where
the
you
essence
are
of the place.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, I mean, look, for example, I've been to Dominican Republic, and I went straight to Punta Cana. So that's all about, you know, all-inclusive hotels, and you don't really even need to leave the actual hotel or the resort, you know.
And a lot of people don't.
Which is understandable, because I think that, you know, it's beautiful, right? You got the beach, you got the pools, you got everything. But I'm the kind of person that I would want to go drive into Santo Domingo, right?
Sí.
And sit with the locals and go dance some real bachata, and, you know, just get the real life experience of what it's like to be in DR.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. You know, I went to Santo Domingo, right?
When did you go?
It wasn't for very long. It was for like a long weekend.
Okay.
A very long weekend. But it was for my cousin's bachelor party.
Oh, that must have been wild.
So, no comment. But,
don't mind me. I'm just laughing at Rich.
What I will say is that, you know, it was beautiful, and but it also at the same time it felt local. When you drive from like the airport to the downtown area or the coastal region, you know, you got a flavor of like just what the locality was like. And, you know, in the evenings we would
like
take
that's
walks
when you
and
see
stuff.
what life is really like there, right? It's not just about the beautiful beaches or the all-inclusive hotels. It's a great thing to do out there.
Yeah.
But for me, that trip, I felt like I need to come back. So I understand exactly what you're saying.
How does that compare to like Eastern Europe, where it's like culture is a little bit more developed, you know, and there are a lot of like resources, and it's easy to get from one place to another and all that kind of stuff. Like, how does that compare?
I gotta say, I don't think you can compare.
Okay.
You're definitely looking at two different worlds, because just the people are so different.
Yeah.
You know, like, I think even, like, for Latinos, like, we're just so different from a lot of other people. Even within the Latino community, we're so different, you know? Like, I stand out like a sore thumb if I'm probably in DR somewhere, you know? Especially if I start speaking Spanish. Immediately, they'll know I'm a tourist. In Finland, again, I stuck out like a sore thumb. But now it was all completely different. The weather. You know, cold weather for most of the year. You think you can't, but you get used to it. I gotta be honest with you. And then the darkness.
Okay.
You know, and then, you know, having less sunlight definitely affects the people.
How so?
I believe Finland is a country with a lot of depression. Like, a lot of people out there get depressed.
Oh, interesting. You know, I believe that because even like me, like, I see how like strongly my moods are affected by the weather.
Yeah.
Like, if it's a gloomy day or if it's cold, it's
absolutely.
like, you know, you kind of retreat inward.
Right. But doesn't take away from them, because they're great people. They're good people. They're honest people. It's such a safe country. I think I absolutely loved the fact that it was such a safe country. I think I enjoyed that so much in Finland. Even compared to here, like, I could walk down the street at like 2, 3 in the morning, go catch a bus, and I would be fine. Can't say the same about here, you know what I mean? Unfortunately. And even the fact that that country was very clean. They're very organized with their garbage over there. No, absolutely. I'm being so serious with you right now. Like, you do not see garbage on the streets. The roads are like always paved. Like, everything is like, oh my God, the potholes out here be killing me.
It's so funny. Like, you are legitimately talking like.
Oh, you know what was really like mind-blowing?
What's that?
How everyone follows the rules, like the laws, like especially driving.
Okay.
Speed limit. Oh my God, there's cameras everywhere out there, so they got that on lock. And here's the crazy part. When you get like a ticket, like their penalties, they base it off of what you made during a specific year. Like, they could go and pick, like, let's say how much you made in 2015. You made X amount. Well, from that, we're gonna take 10%. I mean, don't quote me, please. But if you look it up,
like that's interesting, right? It's like the punishment fits the crime kind of thing.
But the punishments are pretty high, and I think that's what keeps people in order,
in check. Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Well, they would only be getting like $1 from me. Like, there you go. Sorry, that's all I got. Wow, but no, actually, that's interesting. That's something that I did not know.
And you know what else I loved about Finland? You don't go into anyone's house with your shoes on. That's the most disrespectful thing you could ever do. And even with the Asian culture,
a lot of cultures have
you got to
though.
take off your shoes. I remember because I went to Thailand one year and I was visiting out there. Every time you went into a business also, you had to take off your shoes.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That I didn't know.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
So you'd like walk around and you'd see like a bunch of like sandals, flip-flops all in front of these doors, you know?
Oh my God, you just reminded me of this story. So when I was in Japan last year, we went to a monastery.
Okay.
But to go in, you had to take off your shoes, your sandals, whatever. And because it's such a touristy area, there are like 500 pairs of shoes or sandals just at the entrance to this damn monastery. I was like, how am I going to find my shoes when I get back? So you have to kind of tuck them or hide them into like a little area.
And then that's the thing too with all those religious places, like those temples. Because even when I was in Thailand and, you know, we wanted to go visit like the big Buddhas or things of that, you had to take your shoes off. And you had to be covered up. They don't play.
That's right. If
they
you're a woman.
don't play. Yeah. They're so strict about what you're wearing that they'll have like robes or things for you outside of the places so that you can wear and still go in.
I mean,
they accommodate it, you know?
It goes back to what you're saying, though. Like, you got to respect the culture and you respect the country.
Absolutely.
2 hours later.
Yo, shout out to my boy Frankie out in Cali.
Yeah, okay.
We missed you.
Little feedback in the background
homie
here. The boy Frank Xavier Contreras was on an episode of Happy Hour with Friends.
Yes, he was. A great episode, too.
We are all mutual friends, so go check it out. I think it was called The 3 B's, Booties, Blunts, and one other thing. I can't remember. It's on the
beer? I don't know.
Booze.
Oh, booze.
I can't remember the order it was in, but it was booze, booties, and blunts or something.
So what's
like
the name
that.
of this one?
I don't know. We'll figure it out. It might be speakerphone.
Speakerphone?
Yeah.
Why?
Because of that video you sent me earlier today. Why don't you tell people what it was?
Oh my God,
Why don't you tell people what this video was?
This is really funny to me. I was with a good friend of mine yesterday. Shout out to Alexis Rodriguez. He is from Elizabeth, New Jersey, but he is the funniest, coolest guy, one of the best that I know from out here. And he put me up on this video on YouTube where it's about picking up your phone on speaker when you're like with your significant other. But in this case, in the video, it was this guy picking up the phone around his girl, and his boy would blow up his spot. I mean, I do it no justice. You guys definitely, I hope you put the link.
I will put the link, and I'll also
share this video.
I'll put a little bit of the audio in the podcast from that video. Yes,
because always remember, the Knicks are playing.
The Knicks are playing.
So that was like the secret code word that he would try to yell out to his boy so
Like,
that he
my
knew that his
girl
girl was
is on
next to him.
speakerphone,
Yeah, and the
too.
guy was like, no, they're not playing tonight.
They playing tomorrow.
Yo, pick up, come on. Babe, I gotta pick up this call. I'll be back.
Why can't you just pick it up here? Do you have something to hide?
I'll pick it up right here. Hello?
Yeah.
Hello? Yeah. Kenny, the Knicks are playing.
Talking about the Knicks are playing, B.
Yo, Kenny, when I say the Knicks game is on, that means my girl's right next to me, okay? You got it, cool. I'm that serious.
Yo, let me get a chopped cheese.
Kenny, listen. The Knicks are playing.
What Knicks are playing?
The fucking Knicks are playing, Kenny.
Mikey, the Knicks are playing today?
Kenny, listen.
Ain't no Knicks playing!
Look,
Yo, Rich, I don't know what's up with you, B. I just called you to get something to eat, man. Word.
Yeah, Kenny, what you want to eat?
I got these 2 white girls and they want us to eat that ass immediately.
Oh my god,
But guys, definitely when you can check out this video if you want a good laugh.
that was very funny. I'm not gonna lie.
It's the funny thing too, like when you got something to hide, or you definitely gonna be nervous, right? You definitely are there
You should know
shitting
better.
bricks.
You should know better.
Yeah.
Like, don't pick it up on.
Especially if your
speakerphone.
boy's crazy like that, blowing up your spot, talking about we eating booty. What does
Yeah,
he
whoa.
say?
That's right.
Tonight, don't even get a condo. We going in raw.
That was
Horrible,
that
guys.
was too much.
When you watch the video, you will understand what
Oh
this
my
conversation is
God.
about.
All right, so
That's why it makes it so
So
funny.
let's hear it. What was the time that it happened to you?
I gotta be honest. I ain't that stupid. I mean, I ain't no player or
I ain't no
anything
punk.
like that. But I only put my phone on speaker when it's absolutely necessary.
Okay.
Or the first thing I do is, oh, yo, what's up? Yeah, I'm here with my man, or I'm here with so-and-so. I'm straight up to the point. Ain't no the Knicks are playing. No, I tell you straight up, I am here with this person, just so you know.
Oh my God. If you had to make up your code phrase, what would it be?
I had a phrase with this one friend about like when we were gonna do something on the low,
Yeah.
right? And so I would say to her, let's go drink agua panela. And agua panela is this Colombian drink that everyone it's like a tea or like a coffee, right?
Okay.
So I would be like, hey, you want to go get some agua panela? And my girl already knew what I was talking about. So I've done stuff like that, but not so much like where I'm trying to hide something from someone. I don't
Okay.
think I'm good at that, if
Okay.
that makes any sense.
Okay.
Like, especially in a relationship, I'm too freaking loyal sometimes. I'm not for the game. Maybe in high school I was a little crazy,
Oh my God.
but that's it though.
Oh my God. Yeah, I think mine would have to be like on some CIA or FBI shit. Like, the eagle has landed. The eagle has landed. I repeat, we are DEFCON 4.
Oh my God. Now I know if I ever hear you say something like that, I'm gonna be like, what?
If you don't mind my asking, what is the love life of a heartbreaker like?
The love life of a heartbreaker. Well, see, that's the funny thing, because I consider myself to be very picky. So when I do get into a relationship, I go in. Like, I go in hard. And I think I'm a very good woman to, who I'm with. For example, in Finland, I was living with someone. So this was my first experience living with someone. But it was so interesting, too, because, he was Finnish. So we were, like, definitely battling a lot of
Different cultures.
differences. Yeah. And it definitely made the experience amazing. It was hard,
Okay.
but it was amazing because I can say, that I've had that.
Yeah.
And so here goes Nati playing fucking housewife for a whole year, and I was definitely
Housewives
not
of
doing that.
Finland.
I was not about that life here, not with anyone. I mean,
Yeah.
I've had a few serious relationships. Shout out to all my ex-boyfriends.
Wow.
But I ain't naming no names.
Damn.
The list might be a little long.
Heartbreaker. You hear this?
You see how much I'm shouting people out?
Yeah, I mean,
They're gonna have to,
they gonna come cut some royalty checks over here. It's okay.
that's why I ain't giving no names yet. But that was definitely a very interesting experience because I had to adapt to so many different things, But I think the beauty there too is, you have two different people, and when there's good intentions, it's a beautiful thing, you know. It's definitely a very nice thing because I was so like loving and affectionate. He was a nice, affectionate, well-rounded man, you know. So that definitely it helped the relationship. Because if not, then he would have been like, this bitch is way too clingy for me. Which he probably does think that.
Wow.
Sorry. But when you love hard.
Yeah.
And that's how and that's another thing about Capricorns. We're very loyal and we're very faithful with the right person. You know? You can't just be giving your heart out to anybody out here nowadays. Hell no. Especially now with all this social media bullshit.
Don't I know?
Nah, I'm good. I'll be old school about that, you know? Don't be sliding in my DMs because I will cut you off real quick. And I have.
It goes down in the DMs. It goes down.
Not in my DMs, that's for sure. And that's a funny thing, too. I think I give off that vibe, which is why people don't slide in my DMs because I'd be like, cut that real quick.
We talked a little bit when you first came back from Finland, and so I know a little bit more than we're actually letting on here.
Right.
But you learned so much, you know,
Right.
and you feel like you've grown quite a lot.
I absolutely do.
So then bring that home to like, now you're back in Elizabeth after like being gone, right?
Dirty Jersey.
How does it feel? Like, I mean, are you fully like, do you feel like you're fully back here, or do you feel like you're torn? Like part of you wants to be somewhere else, you know?
Well, let me just say this. I am so Jersey that it's like I never left. I'm going to take Jersey with me in my heart wherever I go. Jersey is Jersey. It made me who I am, and I love to represent it wherever I go, without a doubt. But being back, how can I explain? It's a little bittersweet too because, you know, when you go off and you see these beautiful places or these different places and you're adjusting your life there and you enjoy it, you know, when you come back here, you start to notice a few little like things like, oh, I don't miss the crackheads on Broad Street, you know. But, you know, I remember landing and JFK and now like back into this country that's a melting pot. You know, back to seeing all these different faces, different races, you know, and the population itself. I mean, this country, we have so many people. It took a little bit of adjusting, but not really. It really didn't. It was something that I was yearning for such a while too, because, you know, being away from home for a whole year, it was tough. Like, I'm so Colombian. So when I got off that plane and I hit Elizabeth, the first thing I did was go to a Colombian restaurant, get myself a big ass bandeja paisa, and I had like 2 shots of aguardiente.
Wow, that's what's up.
2. And I'm sitting there like, wow, I haven't had this in months. Like, it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
But it makes you appreciate so much more where you're from when you're gone that long, right?
Absolutely.
It's the people, it's your family, it's your environment. You miss it. Regardless of, you miss it. So being back home has been great because I feel like everything that I've learned, what I've taken in while I was abroad, like I'm applying it still to my life here. All good things, you know. Like I think I'm a much better driver. My boyfriend used to always yell at me, "You're going too fast," and I'm like, well, "This is normal." No, it's not. You know, like you're in a whole different country, such strict rules, and I think I just became more patient, simple. Also, I feel like I try to carry on now a more minimalistic lifestyle.
Yeah.
So all of that is it's cool that I could still apply that and live my life normally, even though I'm back home. By the way, this is another side note to you. If you want to put on some Cardi B for this audio, for this interview, please do. That's my girl right now.
I'm going to have to see if we can clear the rights to that, but yeah, we'll see.
You know, you could add like the little beat or little trap beat. I'm all for it. That idea just came to my mind.
I'll work it out. I got you. So, what's next for Nati?
Right now, I need to get back to the drawing board. I'm organizing myself again. I'm organizing my thoughts. I'm, you know, saving my money because, you know, this travel life is addicting. I'm hoping to go back to Finland or to Europe, because I really want to live out there. I really do want to, kind of like start over if possible. I think I have a great career. I'm blessed. I speak English. I speak Spanish. I can go anywhere in the world with it. Europe is definitely like number one on my list, but I want to take my creativity abroad again and just live, because I think there's so much more to life sometimes than just what you see or what you're used to, or the social media bullshit, or just the whole always drinking or always partying. Like, nah, there's so much out there to do, to see, to eat, and that's what I'm always hopeful for. That whatever it is that I do in life, or wherever it is that I go, or whoever it is that I'm with, that it's much better than what you anticipate. Amen.
And with that, it's been me, your host, Rich Hackman. And
Rich, thank you so much for having me.
Oh, of course.
I gotta say, I was very surprised to have someone find me that interesting to bring me on their podcast.
I mean,
but I appreciate it with all my heart, and I'm always down for your projects. I think you're such a creative person. You're such a good friend to have. And again, Frankie, we miss you, homie. It was the trio, the
Absolutely.
Three Musketeers.
You know what? That's the next one. That's the next
Maybe
episode
the next
that you're coming
one,
on. It's going to be the trio.
Yeah, I hope we're doing that in Cali, though.
I'm going out there.
Hey.
I'm going out there.
Hey, that sounds like a plan. Frankie, you ready? You better have some stories for us.
Let's do this. All right, guys. Happy Hour with Friends. Thank you so much for listening.
Thank you, guys.
Follow on Facebook. Follow on Instagram.
Follow me, too, if you want.
Leave
Not Royal.
comments. She'll break your heart. Watch out.
Yeah, watch out. I can't promise you.
Natalia Valencia.
Bye, guys.
Peace out.
The Happy Hour with Friends podcast is brought to you by Soundboard, part of the Board Brand Media Group. In this episode, you heard a clip from C-SPAN's in-depth series interview with author and journalist Christopher Hitchens, also the I Am Nobody remake of Kendrick Lamar's Bitch Don't Kill My Vibe, a snippet from Protein Rich's Vine video, When You Put Your Friend on Speaker, and lastly, a Bodak Yellow instrumental remake by Metrics.